Thank you, Leader, for calling this together and for setting all this up, and to your staff. I want to thank my colleagues who stand behind me, who served their country not only here in Congress but in uniform across the globe, swearing an oath to defend our nation, our Constitution against enemies, foreign and domestic. And I want to thank every veteran who served in Afghanistan, especially today. The Taliban has broken every single agreement, every aspect of the agreement since January. Whether it was their fighting inside the provinces, whether it was just the power sharing agreement for the country as a whole, completely violated by their attempt to overtake the country. And just recently, their promises to let Americans walk through their checkpoints to get to the airfield. Myself, my colleagues, can report to you call after call from Afghanistan to our offices saying, I am an American and I can't get through the Taliban checkpoint. I've been 3-4 times. And yet, President Biden did nothing. He continued at each point when the Taliban broke the agreement to do nothing. It is a failure of leadership, and it reminds me of a story from our early national history, the War of 1812, when the British were coming up the Potomac River. And an American who saw them making the move toward Washington, D.C., yelled to the British commander, "You know, if George Washington were still alive, you wouldn't have gotten this far." To which the British commander replied, "If George Washington were still alive, we wouldn't have even tried." The point is it matters who leads this country. We need leadership. You can't do détente with a country like the Soviet Union, like Carter tried to do. You can't run from Somalia when we get a bloody nose like Clinton did. You can't give away and run from Iraq the way Biden and Obama did in 2011 and not expect ISIS to be created. And you sure as heck can't abandon Americans in a war zone, leaving them to defend themselves, to fend for themselves, and expect our enemies to respect us. We have alienated our allies and empowered our enemies. And while Joe Biden hasn't allowed the White House to be burned down, he's certainly allowed the reputation of the United States government to be burned down. And now, the audacity, while they're killing people, while they're refusing to adhere to the agreement, while they're already, I have voicemails of people telling me that their wives were raped, Anthony Blinken wants to do a deal with the Taliban. It's a common theme from Democrats leading in the White House. It's unacceptable, and we won't tolerate it. I yield to Mr. Banks.